Hi guys, Paul here from PABrewNews, back in the dungeon yet again. And today we have an interesting little beer review. This is the same beer in two different containers. So this is their canned version and the bottled version of their Schneider Weisse AVENTINUS, the wheat double bock. So let's give this one a go. We're going to try to do a light pour on each first, taste it without the sedimentation, and then add the sedimentation in, and then give it another one and see which one is if they're hopefully they're exactly the same, not one showing up the other, but we won't know until we try. So let's get into it. Let's crack them open. I'm going to put the can in the kapustnia glass, and as I said, I'm going to try to do a slow pour and leave some of the beer in the glass for right now, or beer in the bottle or the can. You know what I'm trying to say. That was ridiculous. Did you see that? Ridiculous. But there you go. I'm assuming it's close to the same amount of beer still left in the glass. So right now they do look pretty dang similar. I'm going to get into the canned version. A lot of carbonation in the canned version, as you can see, streaming up. Say pretty much the same with the bottled version. However, the bottled version has a crazy ass head on it, so we're gonna give this a go and see how it goes. So it's nice, it's dark, it's bready, caramel, raisin, kind of dark fruit, a little bit of dark fruit, little clove spiciness. It's nice. Wow. Okay. So without the sedimentation, there's a beautiful brown sugar caramel tonality that I remember when I had this before. It kind of muddled up that beautiful slight dark fruit, caramel, burnt sugar. Is a little bit of that brown sugar tonality, kind of blanketed that. Drying earthiness, so it doesn't get too sweet, which is nice. It's a drier beer than I remember with the breadiness that I had before. So it's a little bit more dry, but straightforward too. Brown sugar, caramel, little bit of a soft clovey kind of quality, mixing with a nice assertive earthy bitterness that kind of goes down, dries out the palate a little bit, which is nice. So let's try, now that the head's died down, let's try the bottled version. This one's a little bit more floral. I got a little bit more floral character coming out of this with that earthiness, but still get that kind of clove quality. Cheers. I let both sit, so they haven't been disturbed. This one is slightly clearer than this one. This one was immediately smoother. Just a little bit smooth. Didn't have a lot of the sharp edges that this one has, with a lot of kind of a earthiness, minerality kind of quality. But it's hardly hazy. Yeah, definitely brighter, sharper from the can versus the bottle. So right now, it's one of those ones. It's kind of hard, but I really was curious. So right now, I kind of like the fact that this is bright and sharp. But the drinkability of this one right now, out of the bottle, is amazing. You get more characters out of this one. You just get because the sedimentation isn't in yet. This one must have a little bit of sedimentation in there because there's a little soft cloudiness to there and a smoothness. This one is a little bit more pronounced with those brown sugars, with those little earthiness qualities, with that clove qualities. You know, it's just a little brighter and sharper. Yeah, it's got a little bit more of a kick to it. Yeah, and this one has a pronounced breadiness to it, pronounced sweetness to it, and everything is just kind of easy peasy lemon squeezy smooth. You still get a little bit of that clove, you still get a little bit more of that caramel quality and stuff, but the tannic tonalities, the kind of char tonalities, that burnt sugar tonalities, that earthiness, minerality, it's all either gone or died down in this one already because of that sedimentation. So let's just go for it and put the sedimentation in. We'll just do the bottle because it's right here. So pour a little bit in, a little bit more in, and we'll do the old swirly whirly. Excuse me, there is carbonation. Swirly whirly. Top it up. There you go. Let that settle. And we can do the other one. Come on, buddy. Get that air bubble out of there. There we go. So there's that one with the sedimentation in it. Nice smooth. Well, actually, even though I shook it up, there's still some stuff right there on the bottom, which I don't like. That's why I usually like with my darker wheat beers, I leave the sedimentation in the bottle. I don't pour it. I don't shake it up and pour it. I usually just leave it in. But that's not what most people do with these beers. So now let's take this beautiful crystal clear guy and we'll do the same thing. Add a little bit more of that to it. Shake the living shit out of this one. Because believe me, there was a lot of snot that came out of this one. I didn't shake the hell out of it. Which was still interesting to see that they still kept the sedimentation of the wheat beer to be shaken and dumped. So, ooh. Wow, that's a nice tight head too. Obviously, I just shook the shit out of it. You're gonna get that. You're gonna kind of get that cask style head when you do that. So, this is. You can still see all that stuff. Even I shook the shit out of it. You can still see the same problem floating and then collecting on the bottom of the like little, it looks like little maggots. It's not nice. It's not nice. Okay, guys, it's not nice. Do yourself a favor and drink it clear, and just throw away that last 16th of a bottle because it's just I don't know. I just like it better. So right now we have the Kaputznia. There it is. And we're just going to get into it. So it has a nice little carbonation going through. Wow. So pronounced earthiness, pronounced clove, a little bit of coriander, a lot of wheat tonality, breadiness wafting through the palate now. You still have a little bit of that soft brown sugar caramel vibe. Not really pulling a lot of dark fruit, but there is something kind of rising up through that breadiness, little raisin quality. It goes through to a nice little earthy minerality, but that sweetness kind of keeps going through the base of the beer with that malt, bready malt sedimentation put in. So, and let's just do this one. Damn, I'm really happy with the levels too. I can't believe I got the levels so accurate in this, but that was very If anything, it's probably not as sharp still as the canned version. Both are aged, but that was pretty damn similar. That was pretty good. And this is what I'm worried about: is like, will these traditional styles stand up to the test of time in the bottle? Will you get that same experience? Because that's what we want. You know, how do they age? How do they store? How do they pour? How do you like, can we shake them and get that nice sedimentation, or is it going to be all clumpy glumpy crap? You know what I mean? Like, or are you going to put sedimentation in it all? Is it going to be a clear beer? Like, all these questions need answers, and that's why I'm doing that. Nice beer, smooth, bready. It's going down the same as the other one. Pronounced earthiness on the side of the palate here. Very playful, mixing with a little bit of that spice. Okay. Man, that's nice and sweet. This is a slight bit more sweet, which is very playful. This is a slight, and I'm talking about slight. This is slightly sweeter. This is slightly more earthy pepperiness. They look the same. They're responding the same. I'm very happy about that too. So yeah. There is even like slightly like a soft rind of an orange too coming out a little bit in both of these, which is nice. Mixing it with that breadiness, mixing it with that sweetness. I will say again, the only thing I can say is this one is slightly sweeter. This one's slightly earthier. A little bit more assertive on the bitterness on the back end. I really can't say that they're different. And I'm happy about that because I was hoping it would kind of come out to that. And I aged AVENTINUS in a can, aged AVENTINUS in a bottle. Both held up great. 8.2. I'm assuming this is still 8.2. 8.2. Both look the same. Both act the same. Even with the kind of wonky sedimentation that flowed to the bottle, it's the same on each one. So I'm really happy to say that both of these get the same score. And the same score, I probably rated AVENTINUS higher back in the day when I first had it on the channel. I just recently did the can by itself. I gave it an 8.5. And I perceive that that's probably the accurate score to give this. I like both of these, both the bottle and the can. But the beer itself is a bit too thin for me for an 8.2% Weizenbock. I think the body needs to be a little bit thicker. I think the sweetness, like the brown sugar, all those tonalities, even the clove could be shoutier, a little bit more robust, mixing with that body, of course. So you have an upped body. That means you have an upped sweetness. That means you have an upped earthiness. The earthiness will be up too. Like everything just needs amped up a little bit. Saying that though, as I take a sip, both of these renditions of this beer would pair well with food. So stop saying but that would be probably why it kind of sits where it is in the wheelhouse of flavor. to pair, to have food with it, to get you to that great experience. As I said in my other review, that's how you get to that. This is a great beer experience. You have to have the German, the sceneries, the people, the food, and the beer, and then it becomes epic. But sitting down here in the dungeon is pretty fucking epic all the time. But to get to this beer, to get to that degree in your mind, I think you need those things. You need a combination of things. So as a whole, just as the beer by itself, it's a very good beer. Since 1907, I believe. So not 1090 like some brewing companies, but it's a really well made Weizenbock. I do believe that there is another Weizenbock that I've had that I like better than this, from Weltenberger. I'm pretty sure it's Weltenberger. Don't quote me on that one, but I'll figure it out. But 8.5 all day long, and I will give an 8.5 to both of these. I'm staggeredly impressed and amazed how basically they're unique. Not unique. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. They're similar. The similarities between these beers. The only thing I can point out, the only detriment to that statement is this is slightly sweeter. This is slightly earthier. That's it. Everything else is there. Checkpoint. Love it. So I might retract my poo-poo-ness. I'm a bitter old man. We all know this. So I might retract my poo-poo-ness about traditional styles in cans. Unfortunately. Because there's a couple of beers that I've passed on for a while now because they were in cans and they're traditional styles, and I want them in bottles because I like old shit the way it's supposed to be done. But these two beers, one in a can, one in a bottle, traditional style with sedimentation, they act the same. So you probably guessed that by now. It's pretty far for you, but that's all that matters. And you're here to watch me and watch my craziness and see if I, go nuts and yell at people. And I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to do that. I'll do that later. We have a head-to-head coming up after this with the two main brewing companies in American knowledge of Germany come head-to-head. And we'll see who prevails as the best, in my perspective, of course. But until then, this has been Paul from PABrewNews. I have two delicious beers to finish for the rest of the night, and I'm really happy about it. So, and until next time, cheers. A little sweet. Cheers. A little bit more bitter. That's it. Bye-bye. What's that finger? Here it comes. What the hell?